Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P. WPG Talk Radio 95.5.
Keep the heat coming, baby. I love it. Hot, sweet, and sweaty. You're inside Rack and Fin Radio with me, Tom P. Week of September 9th and 10th. Yep, the Happy New Year dealio going on with the opening of the early bow season. It is happening. It's going to run through September 29th. In our next segment, we'll be talking the prospectus and also the deer hunting forums. I had one the other night up there in North Jersey, Central Jersey is in a couple of weeks. And then in October, early October, there's one here in South Jersey. That's going to be with Jody Powers, the state deer project leader. Just a reminder, those WMAs that were closed back in the summer reopened earlier in the week. 4 of the 5 were in South Jersey. Cedar Lake Wildlife Management area, the sand plant section. In Greenwood Forest, the Clay Holes area and the Parker's Pit area. Manatico Sand Wash Ponds, area 1, 2, and 3 are now open. And in Winslow, it's the hot mix area. Again, no more restrictions going on. Again, I keep saying, mark it on your calendar. Saturday, October 14th, the sporting clay shoot for the NJOA fundraiser. I will be there. I don't know if I'm going to hit anything, but I'm going to eat like I'm on death row. You're going to see that one. Just bring the cameras. Bring the cameras. Get that video going. $75 donation per person, includes 100 rounds of sporting clays shot over 15 stations there at, I'll tell you, this Red Wing there in Port Republic. People say, it's small. It is a tight sporting clays course. Hats off to Roger and Danny and that great crew down there. Includes, again, the 100 rounds, beverages served there to shoot, an NJOA t-shirt, and also a great feast. Go to njoa.org to find out more about it. Listen, registration is now open. Man, they're flying. These weeks are flying. The annual Take a Kid pheasant hunt is coming. Registration is now open. It's going to be Saturday, November 4th. They have it this Saturday, a week before the pheasant and quail, Peasley and Greenwood only season opens. Let's see. It's going to be properly licensed and supervised youth hunters have the opportunity to hunt one of 10 WAMAs, WMA stocked specifically for this program. The required registration is now open for 8 guided morning hunts. I've been shout out to Billy Cooper, Scott McGahee, and that crew out there. These guys are the volunteers among many others that they just make it work for the kids. Let's see, they're going to be when registration reaches capacity for each WMA, it will no longer appear on the online registration form. Go to njfishandwildlife.com to find out more about it. And the registration closes October 15th. Late registrations will not be accepted. Priority is given to the first-time participants, and Fish and Wildlife encourage the youth who have never had the opportunity to upland hunt to take advantage of this program. Believe me, kids do it. They are hooked. The quality birds that the state puts out, these pheasants are gorgeous. You have great guides, great dogs. It's a quality hunt. It's one of those things, boy, you sort of get spoiled. See that and go, wow, man, I wish I was a kid again. See that? Walk-in participants will not be accepted. So register as soon as possible. njfishandwildlife.org and get it going. Now, listen, youth hunts who do not register for the guided morning hunt can still participate November 4th and November 6th through 10th on any of the 10 WAMAs stocked for the Take a Kid pheasant hunting program. So they actually have, it's more than a day. They have a full week to get out there and enjoy it. So it is going to be a fun time. Hey, man, we're up against a quick break. Then we're going to get to Jody Powers, talk about the early deer season prospectus and also the deer hunting forums that are coming up. Now, what we're going to have here in the Rackfin Radio listening area, September 28th, it's going to be at 6:30 p.m. at the Rutgers Eco Complex, and October 5th, it's supposed to be at Batstow Village, but they may be changing the venue. That's going to be at 6:30 also. You hunt deer, you want to see some changes going on. Again, these are suggestions. Nothing is etched in stone. Make it a point to attend. And before we go to our break, shout out to Rob Frank from Forked River. Met him at a tackle shop early in the week. He said, man, that voice is familiar. Who is that annoying person? No, he didn't say that. He was pretty cool. Bob, thanks for listening. Greatly appreciated. Okay, people, grab that cup, grab that red. We'll be right back. Rack and Fin Radio. We're talking early bow season deer.
WPG Talk Radio 95.5 FM and 1450 AM. South Jersey's talk station.
Are you already doing digital advertising sales? Do you know all about targeted displays, social media marketing, the latest in SEM, and behavioral targeting? If so, you could be Town Square Media's new advertising sales star. We are looking for passionate sales professionals to join our media and digital advertising team. If consulting and connecting local businesses with their ideal audience for growth sounds exciting, well, let's have a conversation about you working for Town Square Media. Right now is the perfect time to join our team as an advertising account executive. Our comp package is amazing with unlimited earning potential, including base salary, mobile phone, auto package, 401k match, and more, along with world-class training and plenty of room for growth. If you're competitive, driven, and have the ability to communicate great ideas, we want to hear from you. Reach out to Michael Rubel, Market President, at 609-910-5249 or visit careers.townsquaremedia.com. Town Square Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Attention, small business owners looking for new ways to grow your business that won't break the bank? What if I told you it all starts with just 2 easy steps? Step 1, stop wasting precious time and money on leads that are being shared with your competition. Step 2, speak with the experts at Town Square Interactive, delivering digital marketing solutions perfectly tailored to your business. You'll get the people and the platform to get in front of more local customers, all for one affordable monthly rate. The best part? No more sharing leads. Your ideal customer will come directly to you. Ready to get started? Go to townsquarelocal.com to use our free traffic estimator and see how many local customers your business could be reaching right now. See why we've been trusted by more than 100,000 small businesses. Go to townsquarelocal.com. That's townsquarelocal.com. And there you can use our free traffic estimator and see how many local customers your business could be reaching right now. Start growing your business today. townsquarelocal.com.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Hey y'all, this is Ronte, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the pimento cheese. I was like, go cheese, go pimento, go honey, go get it.
Hi, this is Chantrice, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the mild spiciness of the pickled jalapenos. No, it's the crispy chicken. Actually, I can't decide. It's the entire sandwich.
Order the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is your dentist. Do me a favor and feel the front of your teeth. How grimy are they?
Ugh.
It's time for a Crest Pro Health reality checkup. That grime is the buildup of plaque bacteria that can cause cavities in just months. You need to switch to Crest Pro Health. While most toothpaste stop working in minutes, Crest Pro Health's antibacterial fluoride protects for up to 12 hours to stop cavities before they start. So pick some up on the way home. Smile. Crest has you covered.
The original. This fall, treat your taste buds to an authentic AC culinary experience during Atlantic City Restaurant Week, returning October 1st through the 6th. During this 6-day celebration of the region's diverse dining scene, enjoy special multi-course, fixed-price lunches for just $20.23 and dinner for only $40.23 at a wide range of restaurants, from gourmet to casual and from seafood and steakhouse to international. Come play. Come dine and indulge in only an AC experiences during Atlantic City Restaurant Week. Really fun, really delicious, and a really good deal. Visit acrestaurantweek.com to find an updated list of participating restaurants, view lunch and dinner menus, and book your reservations. Presented by CRDA.
KFC's new chicken nuggets. Hand-breaded, original recipe, 100% white meat chicken nuggets. The perfect back-to-school dinner option for...
Are those chicken nuggets?
Yeah, I was thinking we could...
Chicken nuggets! Chicken nuggets! Chicken nuggets! Chicken nuggets!
What is happening?
It's dinner time. Order KFC original recipe chicken nuggets, 10 pieces for just $5. You've never had nuggets like these. That's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Hey, you know what I don't get? Why is that company always telling you to just do what? What is it? To just look like everybody else? Or maybe just pay way too much for your shoes? Well, at Skechers, we know what we want you to do. Just slip in. That's right. Just slip in to new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Why? Because slip-ins are the easiest, most comfortable shoes ever. You don't have to bend down to put them on. You don't even have to touch them. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P. WPG Talk Radio 95.5.
Hey, Happy New Year. I said in the opening, Happy New Year in parallel universe of Rack and Fin Radio. When a season opens or reopens, indeed cause for a New Year's celebration. Like I started, how many weeks ago on the show? 49 days, 42 days, whatever. In certain DMZs, the early archery season opened today for whitetails. Again, it's earn a buck except for youth hunters. Go to page 34 and the Fish and Wildlife Hunting and Trapping Digest for the DMZs and the bag limits. The bag limits vary, and watch out for those DMZs that have the APR antler point restrictions on them. Be careful about that. Also now, I just had a press release come in the other day. If you hunt in regulation set 7 or 8, again, in the digest, hunt all those zones. And 7 or 8, you're for the price of 2 permits. So you're going to have access to, 14 or 15 DMZs. Okay, to get it for permit bow, permit shotgun, and permit muzzleloader. Go to njfishandwildlife.com for more information on that. And at the end of this upcoming segment, we're going to talk about the deer hunting forums, meetings, whatever you want to talk about. They had just had one the other night up there in North Jersey at Pequot. So we're going to have one in Central and one in South. But right now, let's talk the prospectus of this early bow season as it spills into the statewide season, which opens on September 30th. Joining us on the line, very special guest on Rack and Fin Radio, Jody Powers. She's the principal biologist with New Jersey DEP's Fish and Wildlife Bureau of Wildlife Management, and she is the New Jersey State Deer Project leader. Jody, thanks for coming back so soon. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Jody, lots and lots of deer around. My first question is, herd recovering from that EHD debacle last year. What are you finding? I'm seeing them, Jody, me, and I'm deer blind most of the time. I'm seeing them everywhere. Lots of bucks still in velvet. That window's closing rapidly. I think by the day. And maybe you have another week window, maybe 10 days. Jody, there's some nice bucks on public land.
There is, yes. Yep.
The prospectus is early season, Jody Powers. What are we seeing? What's your take? Now, last year's archery take fall bow all combined was 12,395, and then permit bow almost 9,000. So there's still, again, numbers were down on the overall last year. I get that, but Joe, that's still a lot of opportunity out there on public property.
Yes, it is. Yes. And, things are looking good. The weather's looking good for the opening day. Deer are coming back from, the EHD outbreak. We haven't had any reports of EHD so far this year, which is promising. And mass crops are looking good. And, hunters are out. They're scouting. They're baiting. And we're getting reports of seeing a lot of deer. So that's good.
So, Jody, it looks good now. The hot weather, I know I get guys and gals, it's too hot to hunt, Well, then don't hunt. Okay, that's simple. Jody, we prefer to wait until like the second or the third into the final week. You get those first cool nights. We like that. I get that. But if you have access to the refrigerated case, you can hang your deer in or get it right to a butcher, pack it nice, whatever. The opportunities are out there. If you don't want to go, it's too hot, don't go. But Jody, this represents, now this is more of, how would you say, like a population control, quote unquote, season? I mean, in some of the zones, it's unlimited antlerless.
Yes. Yep. So the early season is mainly for population control. So that's why it's an earn a buck season. So you have to shoot an antlerless deer first before you can shoot the buck. So it gives the zones that really need the extra help the opportunity to get hunters out in the field early.
Jody, I don't know if you knew the gentleman he was with I&E, retired a few years ago. I don't know if you know the guy, Jim Shasha.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I remember getting a text from Shasha. Bleep, 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 bleep. There were no does around. He had an 8 and a 6 and a 10 was coming in, and he says, I was surrounded by does when he was up in the tree scouting just before the season. There were 3 prime bucks around him, and he couldn't get it.
He couldn't shoot them, yep.
But Johnny, the overall health now, recovering from EHD, again, bolts and arrows crossed on this from people. No more of an outbreak. Long-term recovery, or is it they pretty much bounce back? I mean, good reproduction. I'm seeing a lot of does with 3 fawns, some still in spots, 3 fawns. Joe, check it out. Also, some coats already changing. Last week, saw one all brown.
Yeah. So, but both of those things. So it can come back. It depends on what the habitat is, how quickly the herd will bounce back. But what happens is if you had a lot of deer die, then that opens up food resources for the ones that are left. Mm-hmm. So you could see them come back, quicker. And they're forecasting, that it might be a bad winter. So they're bulking up and they're changing now. Could be earlier.
You look at that. The almanac. I've read that 100. Sometimes 99%.
Exactly.
That's right. But the animals know. I mean, the animals are aware of that. And Jody, how are the mass crops been? I'm seeing some whites, some reds, but and some hickories, beech. One area we have a lot of beech. What's a mass crop looking? Pretty good or dried up? I mean, it's been a dry winter, a dry summer rather.
It has been a dried summer, but we did have some rain in the spring, so I don't think it's going to be the bumper crop that we saw in 2015.
You remember that? Oh my God, it was like walking on marbles.
It was crazy. But I do think it's going to, it might be a pretty good mass crop. So that's going to help in the areas that need it. The ones that bait, sometimes, they don't come into bait if there's a lot of acorns on the ground. So it could be a little challenging, but it's definitely not going to be, I don't think, the bumper crop that it was in 2015.
Well, I can relate to that. And I'll go, I spent all this money on sugar beets and sweet egg,
Yeah.
They just wanted the whites. We're speaking with Jody Powers. She's a principal biologist with New Jersey DEP's Fish and Wildlife Bureau of Wildlife Management, and she's also the New Jersey State Deer Project Leader Prospectus this month-long season. So, Jody, it looks pretty good. Are there any spots that, again, from last year, EHD, that marginal, or does it look pretty good, some Sussex to Cape May?
There are some the southern zones that got hit pretty hard with EHD last year. But like I said, we are getting reports. Farmers are saying that the deer are back in their fields. So I do think they're coming back. Yeah.
And listeners, do not forget, Jody on about a month ago about the sick deer sighting form. Go to njfishandwildlife.com. That's still on there, correct, Jody? They can still pull it off that?
Yep, we're going to keep that up.
Absolutely.
Like I said, we're not seeing too many reports of EHD, but we're getting, reports of, other conditions that deer get, like fibromas and, some neurological things. And we're getting a lot of reports, and it's been helpful. So please, yes, if you see any sick or injured deer, fill out the form. It's helping us out.
Jody, fibromas, those are hideous things. I remember, God, I don't even think your folks were born yet when they finally opened up the Great Swamp up there in Morris County. The deer were like pounds and pounds, like they were blind. How did they even survive? What? I don't know if you're not a pathologist to study that. What causes that? Is that a virus?
Yeah, so it is a viral. It's sort of similar to like when humans get warts. So it's just in the skin. It is a viral disease, but usually it doesn't affect the meat at all unless it's a secondary infection where if one of those fibromas breaks up and gets infected, it could get into the bloodstream and into the meat. But usually it's just a skin infection. We don't respond unless it's like inhibiting like sight or feeding, and then we would go out and respond. But other than that, they'll be fine.
Okay, Jody, one last thing on. We have to just want to touch on it, and I was in the specs when I go to the press host. Just want to touch on again, preventing CWD from getting into New Jersey. Go into the dealio with that, please.
Yep. So you can't. There's a ban on importation of any live cervids, of course, which that's been in effect for a number of years.
Right.
But you also can't bring any whole carcasses from any other state. So if you hunt Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, you cannot bring that whole carcass back into New Jersey unless you butcher it, quarter it, no bone, no skull plate has to be cleaned, no spinal, none of that.
Okay.
And then also there's a ban on any natural lures too. So any deer-derived natural lures you cannot sell, be in possession, or buy in New Jersey.
And Joe, so these synthetics now, effective as can be. I mean, so again, no need for that.
Exactly.
They're the diehards, and I'm one of them. But I tried some in synthetics, and wow, they were okay.
Yes.
Good, let's get to again, listeners. Attention, all New Jersey deer hunters. NJ Fish and Wildlife will be hosting 3 deer hunter forums to discuss preliminary proposals on simplifying New Jersey's deer hunting regulations. Please attend to discuss ideas on how to make deer hunting regulations less complicated. That was bold. And less expensive. That was even bolder. Okay, so Thursday night they had one up there at Pequot's. Now in Central Jersey, Rack and Fin Radio area, it's going to be at the Rutgers Eco Complex, September 28th at 6:30 p.m., 1200 Florence Columbus Road out there in Bordentown, as Burlington County, and South Zone here, October 5th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. at the Batstow Village State Park Visitor Center, 31 Batstow Road. Technically, I just call it Batstow. That's Hamilton. Jody.
Yeah, so that one's been changed. The southern venue. Yep, we just decided. Yeah, last night it's been changed to Stockton University.
All right, there in Pomona.
Yes, because I think that room holds more people.
Yeah.
So we wanted to open it up to allow more people to attend. So that one's been changed. There's going to be a press release with the exact address. But yeah, so the southern one on October 5th.
The dates are the same and the time's the same, though, correct?
Yep, exactly.
Ooh, Jody, thanks for
October 5th, 6:30.
Thanks for catching that, man.
Yep.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay, Jody, if we can touch on now, 3 different parts of the state, 3 different mindsets on, again, deer management, whatever, trophy, antler, whatever. But, Jody, good attendance at the one the other night in North Jersey?
Yes, there was probably 80 to 100 hunters that came out. Yep, and, a lot of great speakers. They were well informed, they were prepared, and they had a lot of good ideas. And it was a good conversation. It was very helpful to hear what they had to say.
Again, these things, they're not proposals. They're nothing's passed the fishing game. None of that. Now, again, this is just ideas. Again, your influence counts. Use it. Participate. And you know how I feel about certain things here. And that certain group showed up, and they showed up again, and they showed up again, and boom, look what happened. And we'll talk about that some other time. But, Jody, participation is vital, because if you're there, you're seen. What other alternative do they have? Well, these are the people that seem interested. These are the people that want to get involved. These are the people that are actually doing it. So your attendance is highly, highly recommended. Otherwise, don't bitch and moan about it. Granted, sometimes you're working, you have family obligations. I get that. Well, those who cannot attend, can they write something in? Can they submit something via online, or they just Sorry, man. You can't make it. You snooze, you lose. What's the deal?
Yeah, so we're going to look into that. So I think one of these is going to actually be recorded as well. So if you can't attend, it's going to be up on the website, and there's 3 parts, and it's going to be in separate sections that you can listen to it. In addition, reach out to your local, county chapter, the Federation, voice your concerns to them, and they will bring that to the council and to the agency as well. But yes, definitely, show up, voice your opinion. We tried to get it together to get these 3 meetings in before the deer season opened, which is why we had North first, because it opens, But, we did our best. But again, these are just ideas. They're not proposed changes. They haven't been approved by council to move forward. It's just a conversation. This is what we're thinking of the changes, and we want to know what the hunters think.
And I like to think, too, they were less expensive. A guy goes, says, boy, he says, I had to take a second mortgage. Well, I said, dude, you bought 130 permits. What do you want? Well, listen, excuse me. On a serious note, antler point restrictions, driving on public land, opening and last day of deer. If you go there, attend, get up there, don't be shy about it. Now, they get up to a lectern and talk, or what do they do?
Yeah, so the way it worked at the one in Pequest, it was just a meeting room, and then, after the presentation was over, there was a mic, and people just lined up and spoke. There's no time limit. Whatever you want to talk about, you have to stay on topic, so it has to be deer. It has to be deer regs.
Mm-hmm.
Just some people had lists, some people just off the cuff, talked.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good.
But the most pleasing part I found is, make Tom P. half a town. I go half cocked more than a few times. It was civil. Everyone was polite. Yes. Correct. That's what we need. Again, the antis love this. The fighting within, as my one neighbor said, great person, but just vehemently anti-hunting traffic. She said, during the crossbow controversy, we don't have to do anything in the movement. That's what they call the animal rights, right? Because you guys are eating yourselves alive. We can't do that. Be civil to each other, because it's all an opportunity to hunt. That's what we have to keep going.
100%. Yep. Everyone was respectful. It was a really good meeting. Yep.
Okay. Well, Jody, thanks for joining us on Rack and Fin. And anything else you want to add? Listen, the season is here. Get out and enjoy the prospectus. Looks good, Jody. Hopefully an increase now in the overall harvest. Last year, what was the total? Around a little over 38,000. You guys have any projections looking for? I guess any type of increase would be an improvement. Correct?
Yes, any increase would be helpful. Yes.
So listen, get out there and enjoy. The opportunities are there. Permits, by the way, go on sale starting Monday, September 11th at, I believe, 10 a.m. So get there and get to it and get out, do your scouting. Jersey has plenty of public land, great hunting opportunities. And like I said, Jody, I've run into people from out of state, up and down the state here. Do you people realize the deer hunting you have? How many deer? One guy was from Massachusetts going home with 7 deer. He said, I can't believe this. Up where he was, 2 deer allowed, and that's it. So we have it all here. Jersey deer hunting is just absolutely. I just love it. Well, Jody, thanks for joining us on Rack and Fin. We hope to see you soon. And
thanks,
so you're going to be at in Bordentown, and you're going to be at Stockton, correct?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, Jody,
I'll be there.
We'll see you there. Thank you very much.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tom.
Take care.
WPG Talk Radio 95.5 FM and 1450 AM. South Jersey's talk station. Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P. WPG Talk Radio 95.5.
Here we go. Look out below. You are back inside Rack and Fin Radio with me, Tom P. Weekend of September 9th and 10th. Okay, man, opening of early bow season in those certain DMZs. Now, the statewide season is going to open on September 30th, a couple of weeks after that. North Zone waterfowl season opens, duck season followed. Now, the Canada Goose season is going on. September Canada Goose is still going on. A lot of birds out there, but those Canadas are beyond capricious. The last week in September is really the time to do it. And then Central is going to open. And then last is the coastal, not Central, South Zone. Last is the coastal zone. Waterfowl numbers are it depends on what report you read. Numbers are down, numbers are up, numbers are down, numbers are up. But they raised the mallard limit. That is a good thing. They raised the Canada Goose limit up to 3 birds, the resident birds, except in the coastal zone. It is staying at 2. Speaking of waterfowl, mark your calendars. Great event coming up. Now, listen, I go to the trade shows here and there. I do this, I speak at this one, that one. Have a ball at all of them. My fave. I'm originally in North Jersey Malgott. My fave. The Barnegat Bay decoy show and gunning show there in Tuckerton. Man, first time I was there probably back in the, I guess mid to late 90s. Somebody turned me on to it. I went down and I was heavy into duck hunting. I was in my glory. What a great event. The 41st annual Old Time Barnegat Bay Decoy and Gunning Show. September 23rd and 24th, rain or shine at Tip Seaman Park. They're right on Route 9 in Tuckerton. Yeah, right there in the spring along that boardwalk there. Me and the lovely Dee Marie pulverize the spring-stocked rainbows in there. They're going to be a great event. Again, decoys is a thing here. I'm going to go into some names that are some incredible decoy carvers. It's so into the fabric, that part of Barnegat Bay. The gunning, the living off the bay, the clamming, the oysters, waterfowling, decoy carving. There's collectors, duck boats, hunting guide services, demonstrations. The Jersey State Duck Calling Championship is going to be held. September 23rd and 24th. I said, man, this is time. We have to get this on Rack and Fin Radio. Joining us on the line right now is a very good friend of Rack and Fin Radio. It's German Georgiev. He is the Chief Park Naturalist, Ocean County Parks and Recreation. Been there over 30 years. God bless him, man. What a great guy. He's based up there at Wells Mills Park, or Wells Mills, what's that? Exit 69, the Ware 10X. What a great hiking place. Some pretty fair bass fishing in the lake there. Heavy weed cover, but some monster pickerel in there. But government's all involved with this. This is going to be a great event. I remember there last year. I think I set a record for eating funnel cakes. I may try to break it again this year. But the carvers, the calling, there's sneak box shooting competition. German, you have covered it all. I know I get very loquacious talking about this. This is my fun event. You know how I feel about it. Hey, thanks for coming on, Rack and Fin, little brother.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
German, it's always a treat when I get there. I try to do the 2 days between here and scheduling, whatever. It's a 2-day event, rain or shine. Now, I understand you have a big tent set up there. You have over 300 exhibitors or some astronomical. So it covers, listeners, it covers all outdoors, especially the waterfowling aspect, the carving aspect. German, I see those decoys in there, and it's just absolutely breathtaking, the quality of the vendors that you have at the event. I mean, and they're there year after year, so it must pay for them. That's something going on here, man.
Yeah, some of them have been there since the first day, 41 years, and they just keep coming because they make their living selling these things, and these shows are a big part of their market.
German, formulating the show, getting it together, a 2-day event, again, outdoors, you have the tent, you have the open fields, rain or shine, you have the shooting. Just for my own edification, I'm fascinated by this. Go into the logistics of that. I mean, as soon as last year's show concluded, were you already planning this year's?
Pretty much. We get about a week to catch our breath, and then we start troubleshooting what went well, what didn't go well at the show that just passed, and we'll start planning for next year. And then we're working on it all year long.
And German, again, getting the vendors. I mean, I see new people there. I see the standards there. You're constantly getting new people interested from all different parts of not only New Jersey but also out of state.
Yes, we've had people from as far away from Canada selling. That was a duck boat dealer.
Wow!
So they come from all over the country.
And German, what I love to see there, especially, I tell you, I always say this: the formative years, the 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. You have a great youth participation there. You have the youth decoy or calling championships. But are you seeing more and more youngsters there and more women?
Oh, absolutely. We partner with Tucker and Seaport, who has a youth carving club. So many of our new decoy carvers get their start taking those classes, and then they move to the competition. And a couple of our adult judges were once people who competed in the youth contest. So we have seen the youths come up through the ranks, and hopefully, replenishing the people that, as life naturally occurs, pass on or leave the hobby.
Okay, listeners, among the decoy carvers that are there, you have a host of other vendors there, and a lot of it conservation minded. You have the New Jersey Conservation Officers Association. DEP's Fish and I understand can't say division anymore. Is that some DEP's Fish and Wildlife? Ducks Unlimited is there. NRA is going to be there. Association of New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Clubs, New Jersey State Federation of Sportsmen's Clubs, New Jersey Harvesters, New Jersey Waterfowlers, Bass Pro Shops, Barnegat Bay Sportsmen's Club. It is all outdoors, and it's going to be a 2-day event. But German, getting that mix, okay, of not only the waterfowlers but the artists. There's photographers. There's artists. There you have. I think his name is Rocky. I always go through $50 and buy his honey.
Oh, yes.
That guy out by Bordeaux. His stuff is amazing. German, when you sit around the table, is it trying to get a good mix, not go too heavy on one, not too heavy on that's you the decoy guys. I get that, but you seem to have just a great mix. It flows. I'm not talking just the layout, listeners. It flows. There's something, it seems, there for everyone who likes being in the outdoors. Not necessarily a hunter, a conservationist, a wildlife photographer. And you covered it all, man.
Yeah, it is something that we work on all year long with just that aspect of it. We do turn people away because while we want to open it up to not just duck hunters, but people that are interested in related aspects, but we don't want to have it turn into just a craft show or flea market without a theme. So we do vet the vendors carefully.
Joining us online is German Georgiev. He is the Chief Park Naturalist, Ocean City Parks and Recreation. The topic is, in 2 weeks, September 23rd and 24th, the 41st Annual Old Time Barnegat Bay Decoy and Gunning Show. Now, German, I'll tell you one thing that fascinates me. The dog, listeners, there's dogs, that pool where these things launch themselves, those dogs. German, that's something to see. They defy the laws of physics, those critters.
Yes, unfortunately, that group is not going to be here this year, but we are going to have the hunting retriever contests.
Oh, that's always a blast.
There's categories for puppies, novices, and advanced on both days.
And that's how
and people will view them, basically duplicating a hunting experience and competing.
Again, listeners, there's boat building contests, there's duck and goose calling contests, naturally, and under the decoy tent, traditional shorebird rig contest, Delaware River gunning decoy contest, contemporary gunning decoy contest. Garmin, are you sure you can cover this in 2 days? I think they need 3 or 4 here, bud.
That's why it's a 2-day show. We don't have a lot of wiggle room between contests. We quickly go from one to the other to get them all done. But we want, as you said, we wanted to cover every aspect of waterfowl. And it started out 41 years ago with just decoy vendors and a few decoy contests. And then it grew to encompass every aspect, as you said, the boat building, the skeet shooting, the duck calling. Also, you mentioned the New Jersey Duck Calling Championship. One feature that we're proud of in hosting that is the winner gets to go to Stuttgart, Arkansas in November to represent the state of New Jersey for the national contest.
Whoa! Man, that's some big-time stuff there, German.
Yes, it is.
Wow. I just sit down. I'm fascinated. I know my basic Mallard calls, the feeding call, the highball, blah, blah, blah. So I listen to some of these, especially the youngsters. I mean, these kids get into it from the get-go, German, and they can really toot, man.
Oh, yes. I don't even call when I duck hunt. And some of these young kids, they put me to shame, and they almost intimidate me to not even try because I think I scare more ducks away. So I just try to have a nice decoy spread and keep my mouth quiet.
Gerben and I are brothers in the blind man because I'm the same way. Denise says, you're going to hurt yourself with that call. Please, give it to me. Hey, Gerben, we're up against a hard break. Can you hang in for another segment, please?
Sure.
Okay, listeners, German Georgiev, he is with he's Chief Park Naturalist, Ocean County Parks and Recreation. We're talking the 41st Annual Old Time Barnegat Bay Decoy and Gunning Show. German, the next segment, I want to get into a little bit of the logistics. I know it's packed, the parking, you have commuter buses, all that good stuff. You have Tucker and Creek rides. People, grab that cup, grab that Rebel. Be right back. Rack and Fin Radio.
The WPG Talk Radio app is everything South Jersey. Local news and information updated around the clock from New Jersey's largest radio news team. Breaking news push notifications just for South Jersey. Easily call and listen to all your favorite WPG Talk shows and more. Download the WPG Talk Radio app for your phone, tablet, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto today at WPGTalkRadio.com.
Fox Fox News, I'm Carmen Roberts. More than 600 people died last night when a powerful 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck Morocco, followed minutes later by a 4.9 aftershock. Some 300 people injured. People staying in the streets afraid of aftershocks and damaged buildings. Messages of sympathy and offers of aid rolling in from world leaders at the G20 summit in India. Forget the prior remain in Mexico policy for asylum seekers. The Biden administration's reportedly considering a plan to make them stay in Texas.
LA Times is reporting that the White House is thinking about using GPS monitoring to force some migrant families to stay near the border in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott slamming the idea, tweeting in part, "We will add even more buses of migrants to Washington, D.C."
Fox's Bill Malusian. America's listening to Fox News.
Your WPG Atlantic City Electric AccuWeather forecast for South Jersey. Overnight, partly cloudy with a thunderstorm in spots, humid and warm with a low 70. Very warm and humid Saturday with more clouds than sun. A couple of showers and a thunderstorm during the afternoon with a high 87. Partly cloudy Sunday with a few showers and a thunderstorm and a high of 83. I'm AccuWeather's Gregory Patrick on WPG Talk Radio 95.5.
Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P. WPG Talk Radio 95.5.
I mentioned about this 41st annual decoy, Barnegat Bay Decoy and Gunning Show. I mentioned some of the decoy carvers there. I'm going to read off a quick list on there. You have decoy ducks. You have Bayshore Decoys by Rob Reitmeyer. That guy's been out. Kootenai Decoys. These are just a few. Kyla and Poppy Jensen Decoys. Reitmeyer Decoys. Ritter Carvers. Gene Marshall Decoys. J.P. Hand, the decoy maker. That guy is Aces. Laurel Dabbs Decoys. Cape May Decoys. Butler Decoys. Bellport Decoys. Bell's Decoys. I mean, the list is absolutely beyond impressive. Let me see, I got another one here. Oh, yeah. Tangle Free Decoys and Tommy Duck Decoys. And you have your outfitters. Old Barney. Real Foul Outfitters. It's just... Again, heavy, we get it, heavy on the waterfowling, the carving, the hunting, whatever. But it's a great mix. And joining us on the line, again, we're back with Gurman Georgiev. He is the Chief Park Naturalist, Ocean County Parks and Recreation. Been there over 30 years, and he's still sane. Dealing with the people, and he's still sane after all those years. Gurman, credit to you, man. You must have some stories, little brother.
A few, yes.
Okay, Gurman, to the logistics now. And listen, oh, by the way, there's going to be some great food vendors there. There's going to be live music. We'll get into that a little bit later. But Gurman, just the logistics. The show starts 7 a.m. on Saturday, 7 a.m. It's packed, correct. People. You want to get there early. Parking will be at they have the nice lot right there, Tip Seaman Park. Can you park also, Gurman, in the Tuckerton Seaport?
Yes, actually, parking within the park itself, where the main part of the show is held, is restricted to volunteers and vendors because we have so little space.
Okay.
You can park at the Tuckerton Seaport across the street or at the Pinelands Regional High School, and also Freedom Fields County Park, which is as soon as you get off the parkway. And we have free shuttle buses running every 10 minutes or so that will take you to the park. So it should eliminate any of the parking headaches that you might otherwise have.
Gurman, I noticed, was it last year, the year before, the listeners, timing is everything. The one time I went, and it was made, don't take this the wrong way, not a mistake, but it was around noon, 1 o'clock. Forget it. You forget. I think I parked down at the Acme, and then had to do the hike back up. But
I know a few people that park at the Acme because it's a short walk to get over to the park.
Well, short to you. You see what I look like, man. I was leaving potholes when I walk. But listen, if you key on what you want, for example, what we do is we'll do the recon on Saturday, for example. Looking at this, looking at, and you see everything, and you key it up, and it's like any trade show or whatever, or consumer show. And then you go back on the Sunday. And what we found is usually around 2 o'clock, 2:30 on Sunday, things are starting to thin out a little bit, where it's a lot more mess. And then, Gurman, that's when we strike. That's when the cards in the wallet come out, man.
Yes. Although with the collectors who are looking for maybe rare finds in the antique decoy area, a lot of them are looking early on. In fact, on Friday afternoon and evening when the vendors are setting up, they're already starting to trade and buy from each other before they even have the show actually starts. So it's like some decoy shows and model train shows, they have tailgating where they have deals going on outside the show. So in the case of the decoy, sometimes the early bird gets the worm.
But he knows my fishing proclivities. That's why German said that. Well, German, let's get to the sneak box shooting. That is fascinating, and especially the youngsters involved with that. I mean, when is that, and how long is it? And how do people, if they want to enter, what's the dealio?
Well, they just walk up and enter. You don't need to enter in advance. And we have different classes of the shooting going on both days, as well as that's the same area the retriever contest goes. So they kind of alternate. But a lot of people have never seen that before. They've seen traditional skeet or trap shooting where you're standing on your 2 feet in a comfortable position. But this, you're laying down in a Barnegat Bay sneak box, which is a type of a duck boat with a narrow cockpit, almost like a kayak. So it's not the most comfortable position if you haven't had experience doing that. But we're trying to duplicate the hunting experience.
And they bring their own shotguns, correct? And shells?
Yes, they usually have some loaners there, but a lot of people elect to bring their own shotguns that they're comfortable with.
German, there was 3 or 4 years ago, I was hanging out at one booth there, again, talking hunting, talking fishing, whatever. And I was watching. There was a young lady there, German. She was dusting those clay birds, and they came out, boom. She was, and I think all of about 12, 13, 14 years old, maybe a teenager. And I got to spoke to her a little later. She says, "Yeah, I always went with my dad and my mom. They'd have her in the blind, and and you could see it was just in her upbringing. And this kid was just so enthusiastic. And someone like that, you wonder, hey, will they take this up professionally, like trap and skeet sporting clays? Because the antecedents are set when they're that young, and it was great to see.
Oh, yes. Yes, several of the kids that would win the youth contests in the skeet shooting have moved on to, as they got older, to consistently win the adult categories. And as you said, the days where it was a man's event or sport are long gone. The women can sometimes put the men to shame, because I think they're a little more flexible when it comes to learning too. Men kind of think that they've watched cowboy movies growing up, or maybe we're dating ourselves, you and me, but they think they know how to shoot a gun, where the women kind of pay attention to the instructor a little better, and I think that shows when they get to the target range. And
German, I learned this from my lovely Dee Marie, that they go into it. Again, Gerben, I smack my forehead. Why do you think? No preconceived notions. They knew what, exactly. And it was a great line. The mind is like a parachute. It only works until, when it's open. And they pick up the tips. They listen, not, I don't do it that way. That may, and try it and it doesn't work. And you go back to your old, then these women were beyond, from youngsters up, they were beyond impressive. Man, I wouldn't want to be a mallard or a black duck or even a teal in that environment.
Right.
German, then out to the dog trials there, the field trials there, and there's a wide array of pooches there. I've seen Llewellyn setters and wire hairs and German short hairs. How do these people get involved? Registering? What's up? Did they have to have some sort of training? What's the dealio?
You mean for the competition?
Yeah, the competition, yeah.
Not really. We just we don't. It's not limited to the typical or traditional retrieving breeds. They just have to be a dog that actually does retrieve, not just somebody bringing their dog who's used to fetching tennis balls, because they end up wasting time that other people could be competing. But if it's a dog that will do the job, it doesn't matter what breed it is. They're welcome to sign up for the contest.
I know, Liz. Dogs are dogs. They're individuals like human beings. I wonder if that dog ever came back. It still might be running. This thing picked up the decoy this couple of years and kept going. Well, going back to the shooting here, I see World Championship Skeet Shoot Finals. What's that all about?
Yeah, that actually, unlike the duck calling, that's just the name that they gave it. They don't go on to a category beyond our show. But it's really the only contest of that type in New Jersey, so that was the name it was given. So it doesn't have quite the distinction that the New Jersey Duck Calling Championship has, in that they get to go on and represent New Jersey in the Nationals. Well,
German, to the duck calling now. Question: is it limited? In other words, X number of contestants. That's it? Is it walk up, register ahead of time? Can someone just come in with their call?
It's first come, first serve. Walk up, and they'll take as many as they have time for. And if there's not another event in that area going on afterward, they may extend the time, especially in the youth categories, to give everybody who would like to participate a chance to do so.
Okay, joining us on is German Georgiev. He is the Chief Park Naturalist, Ocean County Parks and Recreation. Topic is the 41st Annual Old Time Barnegat Bay Decoy and Gunning Show, September 23rd and 24th. Tip Seaman County Park and at the Tucker and Seaport, right there on Route 9, exit 58, north or south off the Garden State Parkway. Or if you're coming up the park, you want to go off at exit 50, go there, go up, go through New Gretna, and you'll eventually get into Tuckerton. You'll see it on there. Now, again, there's going to be a shuttle bus, you said, from Freedom Fields. I know where that is. And also where? Pinelands?
Pinelands Regional High School on Nugenttown Road. That's also just on the road that's Route 539, just off of that road.
And that's every 10 minutes, you said? Every 15 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, between every 10 and 15 minutes, depending on the crowd.
Okay, listen, it's a rain or shine event Saturday, September 23rd, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, September 24th, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Well, Garmin, I know the big event is again, a 2-day event, but the event within the event wraps up Sunday at the awards ceremony. Garmin, it's pretty cool. Go into it, please, and take your time because it's about the Bay life, about the Piney life. It's all encompassing. Go ahead, Garmin.
Yeah, so as you said, on Sunday afternoon, we give out the awards after all the contests are done. All the different carving, shooting, retrieving, boat building contest winners will come up and get their awards on the stage. And then the last few will be individuals who are given the Hurley Conklin Award, who was considered one of the last of the old-time decoy carvers. So this award goes to people who have lived their life in one of the vanishing traditions in the maritime area, perhaps clammers, oysters, commercial fishermen, decoy carvers. And I get to have the honor of interviewing these people so we could write their biography several months before the show. So I urge your listeners to pick up one of our show programs, which you can get at the gate and a couple other places, and not only see what's going on that weekend, but also you could read about these individuals and learn a little bit more about the Bayman and maritime traditions of New Jersey.
Gurman, you have to make this a 3-day show. Not to put pressure on you, man. Because it's a super
maybe
event.
After I retire.
Listen, again, in 2 weeks, it's the 41st Annual Old Time Barnegat Bay Decoy and Gunning Show, September 23rd and 24th, Tip Seaman County Park, and also Tuckerton Seaport. It's so in the fabric, people. This is what Barnegat Bay encompasses everything, the lifestyle, the history. It's really a rich tradition. It's going to be a great time. New and antique decoys, hunting and fishing gear, collectibles, duck boats, hunting guide services, demonstrations, music and food, creek boat ride, Tuckerton Seaport, decoy carving, duck and goose calling. And I neglected to mention there's going to be an archery competition too, Gurman. How did I miss that with the early archery bow season opening today? How did I miss that?
Yes, and this is a little more difficult for people who are used to sending arrows in the direction of deer. We have silhouettes of ducks that go downhill on a pulley. So they're shooting at a moving target and a duck-sized one, not a deer-sized one, with the flu arrows that are meant for not traveling too far. So people who have maybe they're good at shooting at stationary targets find this quite a challenge.
Count me out of that one, people. You know that. But I will be in the food truck aisle. You can't miss Tom P. A mountain of food there. Okay, government. People want to find out more about this. And it's free. It's free, no charge. Parking is free, no charge. And they got the commuter buses. Government, go into more information, please.
Well, you can look at our show program on our website, OceanCountyParks.org, or just do a search for Ocean County Parks and click on the Decoy Show or special events, and it'll bring you to our show program. And then when you get to the park, you'll also have those programs which give a complete outline or schedule of all the contest demonstrations, the award ceremony, what vendors are there, what food vendors are there. So you'll have an idea where you want to go and what you want to see.
Gurman, thanks for joining us on Rockfin. God spares, brother. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I may see you before that because I know there's a bass about, okay, I'm going to put it out there because you still have to catch it. There's a bass 4, maybe a little over 4, close to 4.5 by that spillway at Wells Mills Park at that lake right there. He's there, man.
They're in there.
And there's a pickerel down there. Listen, I thought I was looking at a northern pike. My God, it was so big. Gurman, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Thanks for joining us, man. Best to all. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you very much.
It's just a super fun event. Okay, be right back. Rack and Fin Radio.
WPG Talk Radio 95.5 FM and 1450 AM. South Jersey's talk station. Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P. WPG Talk Radio 95.5.
That'll do it for this week on Rack and Fin Radio. Again, a Happy New Year. Early bow and those DMZs. Check it out in the digest. All the antler point restriction DMZs, the bag limits, everything is there. Canada goose season continues. Railbird season continues. And the fishing is off the... I'll tell you, this has to be some of the best summer flounder, a.k.a. fluke fishing I have seen in... I would not be stretching it to say over a decade. Hey, God bless America. God bless the troops. God bless our first responders and law enforcement. See you next week. Rack and Fin Radio.
You have the choice, whether it's going out to dinner or ordering takeout at a local restaurant. Those choices help to put money back into your community. And Town Square Media South Jersey puts a spotlight on local businesses. First Bank of Sea Isle City, Cape May County's community bank.
Kindle Auto, just off exit 10 of the Parkway on Stone Harbor Boulevard. Call 609-465-5000 or shop at KindleAutoPlaza.net.
Ambient Comfort Heating and Cooling Professionals at AmbientComfortNJ.com.
Dr. Lyle M. Back. For everything from skincare to cosmetic surgery, go to ILoveLyleBack.com.
East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows serves all of South Jersey. If you call, they'll show up. Call East Coast today at 609-646-1444.
Filling Marble and Tile Outlet on Philadelphia Avenue and Route 30 in Egg Harbor City. Visit fillingmarble.com.
Thank you for supporting those great local businesses from Town Square Media, South Jersey.
Hey, life doesn't stop when cancer starts. After diagnosis, treatment is vital. But for some, just getting there, to appointments, chemo, or radiation, is a major challenge. You can change that. Volunteer to give rides with the American Cancer Society Road to Recovery program. Driving for a few hours of your day can make a life-saving difference for someone with cancer. Visit cancer.org/drive to learn more.